excited for our next bout. It's Fred Weaver in the at 3-9 out of Birmingham, Alabama, taking on Isaac Fine, who's 2-0, another KMAA fighter out of Knoxville, Tennessee. So there'll be a light heavyweight bout at 205. Your thoughts on this one, Case?
Well, you know, Fred Weaver, he's been around for a lot of years. You know, his record is does not necessarily reflect the experience that this man has. You know, I've seen him fight at lighter weights. I've seen him fight heavier. He does have a lot of power. But, you know, Isaac Fine is a tall order for anyone. He has real deal grappling. He has real deal striking. You know, the guy can do it all. And plus, he's built perfect for professional fighting. He's extremely tall and lanky, but he has power to back it up. It's going to be an epic showdown nonetheless.
And you and I saw him his last time out at Valor Fights 23 in June. A spectacular, brutal head kick knockout in just 8 seconds over Sam Burns. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, I had nightmares about that fight. You know, I'm a big fan of Sam Burns, and you know, but I'm a big fan of Isaac Fine too. And you know, Isaac, he was right down there to look after Sam after it happened. But man, you know, it was very surprising and shocking to see the amount of damage and how quickly that Isaac Fine can inflict it. And it seemed like it was just an offhand strike. You know, he brought it up there smooth as silk, and it connected, you know, with horrendous results. And so, you know, I would look for more of that coming tonight.
Isaac Fine is 2-0 as a professional in MMA. And going back to his amateur career, he hasn't lost since January of 2012. It's a long time not having tasted defeat. In the meantime, Fred Weaver, he's experienced, but he hadn't competed since December of 2013. He lost that bout in the first round via armbar to Dustin Rhodes in Alabama. Also lost to Stoney Hale, who a number of opponents you brought up have faced him. John Salter, Ron Stallings. So,
you know, these are all fights that happened at a much lighter weight. You know, I remember Fred, when he came in to fight Stoney, he had to cut a tremendous amount of weight to get down to where I believe they fought at 170 pounds. Fred Weaver, you can see right here that he's quite muscled up. You know, and sometimes fighters, you know, you saw it in Anthony Johnson in the UFC, you know. He competes actually a lot better at heavyweight. So, you know, I'm anxious to see if that's the case here with Fred Weaver.
Fred Weaver's wins, David McAfee, also Robert Thompson, Brandon McCullough, his 3 wins as a professional. And he'll be fighting at 205 in this light heavyweight bout, our co-main event tonight, and it's presented by Mad Tatter Studios. So another Knoxville fighter on the way, 11 of them on the card here tonight. And great turnout here at the International Super Venue. We appreciate everyone that came out and is watching at Valor, has watched this and enjoying it tonight at valorfights.com. All right, we're ready for fighter introductions. Back to the cage and Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your co-main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds of the Valor Professional Light Heavyweight Division, brought to you by Mad Tatter Studio and Martin Shaw. At this time, please welcome to the cage, fighting out of the Hogs red corner, Fred Weaver.
Fred Weaver at 3-9 out of Champions Freestyle MMA in Birmingham, Alabama. Fred Weaver weighed in for this bout at 204.1, so just a pound under the 205 light heavyweight number. And he'll be taking on Isaac Fine, mentioned, who also weighed in right at 205 as well. So Fred Weaver, the experience of Weaver taking on Isaac Fine here in our co-main event tonight at Valor Fights. So Isaac Fine, you talked about him training with OSP, BJJ purple belt. Dangerous. We've seen the kicks, striking ability. What's the ceiling for a guy like Isaac Fine at 30 years old?
Well, that's the thing, man. He has everything in the cards to make, you know, to go all the way in the sport. Again, like I said, he's got the height, he's got the reach, he's got the physicality, but he's got the technicality as well. You know, he's very, very good on the ground. He trains with Samuel Braga here at Gracie Barra in Knoxville, a world champion. And then, you know, and then he trains at KMAA, and he gets a tremendous amount of striking. So, you know, like I said, he's definitely a future star. The only problem is finding him opponents. They're very few and far between.
And so he thanked, when we heard from him earlier tonight in the interview for this fight, he thanked Fred Weaver for stepping up and taking this bout. Fred Weaver steps into the cage to introduce Fred Weaver's opponent from Knoxville. Back to the cage, and Cody Gwynn.
Now please welcome his opponent, fighting out of the OEB blue corner, Isaac Fine.
Great reaction for Isaac Fine, one of the top 205 prospects in the country, trained by Eric Turner and Joey Zonar at KMAA. Of course, the camp for OSPs. 2-0 as a professional, 6'5", the 30-year-old. Isaac Fine had a great amateur record as well. Won his first amateur bout, lost his next 3, and then reeled off 5 straight wins. Decided it was time to go pro, has wins over Sam Burns and Matt Brown. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, Fine at 2-0, Weaver at 3-9. Fine 3 years younger than Fred Weaver, and then there's the height difference there, 7 inches in favor of Isaac Fine. Casey.
That's a huge 7 inches, man. Like I said, you know, Fred Weaver's fought as light as 170 pounds before. You know, to step up to a seriously large light heavyweight with a lot of reach and a lot of power, you know, it's a tall order. But, you know, we're carrying on about Isaac Fine, but, you know, Fred Weaver, he's more muscled up, looks better than he's ever looked. You know, he can come out here and shock the world. One big shot, that's all it takes.
What do you think about not having competed since December 2013? Is that much of a concern for you?
You know, I mean, no. I mean, there's always ring rust. You always got to look out for ring rust. Fred Weaver's been around the block. I mean, I think that it would matter, especially later in the fight. You know, ring rust creates nerves. It causes your adrenaline to drop and that sort of thing. But, you know, it's really not that long ago. You know, a couple of years it's not too bad. But, you know, everything matters. You know, staying active in this sport is very important.
Fred Weaver did fight 4 times in 2013, so it's not like he has been inactive over an extended period of time, just since 2013. His last win came in that first fight in 2013 in February. Isaac Fine hasn't lost since 2012. All right, Isaac Fine is in the cage. Let's go back to the cage. Our official fighter introductions. Here's Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Valor Fights 27 co-main event of the evening in the Valor Light Heavyweight Division, brought to you by Mad Tatter Studio. When the action begins, your referee in charge of this bout is Jimmy Neely. Introducing first, fighting out of the Hogs red corner. Tonight, he enters the cage with a record of 3 wins with 9 defeats. He weighed in 204 pounds, fighting out of Champions Freestyle MMA in Birmingham, Alabama, Fred Weaver. Standing across the cage tonight, fighting out of the OEB blue corner, undefeated with a record of 2 wins with no defeats. He weighed in 205 pounds, fighting out of KMAA in Knoxville, Tennessee, Isaac Fine.
We're ready for this light heavyweight bout. Jimmy Neely, our referee. Fred Weaver in the black trunks from Birmingham, Alabama. Isaac Fine in the red trunks from right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We are ready. No touch of gloves and an exchange right out of the gate.
Isaac Fine with the takedown. Looking for it.
And Weaver just pounding on the back.
Wow, lots of shots there by Weaver. And back up to his feet.
And got the momentary takedown, but back up was Weaver. 3 5-minute rounds.
Continues to tussle with Fred Weaver with that single leg position. That's one thing, is that Isaac Fine he will continue until he gets what he wants.
Two big guys here in this light heavyweight bout at 205.
And again, Weaver shuts off the takedown. Isaac Fine again with the pressure.
Weaver put his heel back up against the cage and sliding that arm up. It's fine, he gets it.
Now he's got to watch Fred Weaver. He's looking to turn away. If he turns away too much, Isaac Fine will jump right on his back.
Looks like he might be trying to go there. Weaver pushing down the back of the head of Isaac Fine in those red trunks.
And this is the thing here. You know, Isaac Fine, his head is wide open there. Look at this again. Now, will Weaver remain down there? The guard of Isaac Fine is unbelievably good. Triangle City, if you don't move inside that guard.
And look at Weaver pushing down the chin of Isaac Fine.
Here we go.
There
Watch that climb. That is very dangerous.
Pulling the head down. He's trying to set it up.
Here we go.
Saw him going for the armbar.
Back to the feet.
Weaver got out of harm's way.
Tell you what, this has been a tremendous grind already. You know, I mean, Isaac Fine having to expend a lot of energy, but looking great. You're working hard to get that takedown. Fred Weaver looking great in a defensive posture.
Weaver snapped back at his corner. I don't know exactly what the instruction was, but he basically said, I'm trying.
Right. Well, it may have been when he was sitting inside the guard of Isaac Fine. I know that if I was in the corner, I would be very, very concerned. Now that's, wow. Here we go.
Nice transition there by Weaver.
Yeah.
Past the midway point in round number 1. Full guard.
And again, look at this. Isaac Fine has the right arm of Fred Weaver tied up somewhat. Aborts. Maybe looking for the go-go plata.
He's setting it up.
Yep, now he's got the right arm of Fred Weaver contained. This could be nasty.
Wow, look at
really bad spot. When a guy with serious jiu-jitsu starts to tie you that way, here it comes, the triangle choke. It's what I was afraid of here.
He might be out now.
Fred Weaver looking to slide out, and it's done.
Wow.
No surprise whatsoever once he locked up that triangle position. I said it before, when you're dealing with a top-level BJJ guy, you cannot leave an arm hanging, man, because he will wrap you up, and next thing you know, you're triangled.
You called it, Casey.
But hey, man, props to Fred Weaver.
Yeah.
Dude, he thwarted off that takedown a number of times, and really, you know, he looked good until
here it is.
He was stuck in that spot, and what can you do, man? Nothing but tap.
Wow. You're right, though. Weaver was very valiant in defending those early on.
Weaver gave a tremendous effort in this fight, and he actually did a lot more than most people expected. I think most people thought that Isaac Fine would come out and finish pretty quickly.
It did happen in the first round, but Isaac Fine certainly worked for it and got that finish in this first round to keep his record perfect. Now 3-0 in his professional MMA career. All right. Jimmy Neely is standing by with has our two contestants back to the cage for our official decision. Here's Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jimmy Neely has called a stop to this fight. 3 minutes and 26 seconds into the first round. Your winner by submission via triangle choke out of the blue corner, Isaac Fine.
So Isaac Fine moves to 3-0. First round triangle choke victory over Fred Weaver, who falls to 3-10. And Isaac Fine, a lot of great things still to come for the 205-pounder. Isaac Fine, we'll talk to Cody Gwynn in just 1 second.
All right, Isaac, let me talk to you real quick. Last time we had you in the cage, a crazy first round, quick knockout. This fight went a little bit longer, and we've seen a little bit of a different style. Came out looking to wrestle. Was that the game plan tonight?
It is. He's tough. I just knew that if I came out and stuck to my game plan, that everything would be okay. I want to thank Eric Turner, Joey Zonar, Laban Probst, Lucas Lepre, BJJ Knoxville, and all my training partners, Terry Bullman. Couldn't do it without you guys. Thank God for the win.
Now, you're only 2-0. You're 3-0 now. Fighting a guy who's 3-9. That's a lot more fights. So what's next for Isaac Fine? Keep looking to take on big name opponents, or just take what you can get?
You're kind of asking the wrong guy. That's the guy you need to be asking. I just do what he says, like a broken record.
I should know this by now. I'm just going to keep asking. Isaac Fine, ladies and gentlemen.